Well, it's official. Anna Delvey has been tooted and booted, but not from America, just from Dancing with the Stars. We have Bethenny Frankel, who's breaking down after her big L'Oreal debut. And then I'm going to be doing a Diddy deep dive with the one and only Donna Bowling from Daily Dose of Donna. I hope you are ready for it. Let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zach Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's going on? Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. What's up, everybody? I hope you are having a great, what's today, Wednesday? Hope you're having a great week. Just a reminder, our interview with Mary Bonet from Silent Sunset has dropped today on the Pop Report. So if you want to check that out, I, of course, ask her all the juicy questions about Selling Sunset, about Christine Quinn, about Chrishell on The Traitors, about the Emma cheating rumors and the Nicole of it all and being in the middle. So yeah, I got to see Mary last night at her book launch party. So she has her new book that just came out. It's called Selling Sunshine. It's on sale now. If you guys want to go give her some love, you can buy the book and go listen to our interview with Mary Bonet from Silent Sunset on the Pop Report. I know I was feeling a little guilty this morning because obviously today's like the big day where we're supposed to be promoting the Mary interview. And I decided I needed to post something on Instagram that I was just feeling really inspired by and just needed to kind of say something. So I want to address it on the show just to start off the show, and then we'll get into all the fun. Anna Delvey, Bethenny Frankel, Diddy, Alexis Bellino, Erica's earrings. We'll get into the earring stuff too. We have a lot that we'll cover today, but I just wanted to say this because earlier this week, I think on Monday, Kelly Means organized a panel of experts, doctors, people that are very knowledgeable in the health, wellness, and nutrition space. And he organized a bunch of them to come before Congress and to speak about the state of our health as Americans. And I watched a lot of the speeches that were made, and they were very impactful. Jillian Michaels was there, Max Lugavere was there, both of which who I've interviewed. Vani Hari, the food babe, was there. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was there. So a lot of people came and they were speaking. And I just wanted to post about, well, actually, I'll just read to you what I posted on Instagram because I feel like it summarizes it well. I said, I've been an advocate for health for a long time, long before podcasting. My background is in helping families with children with developmental disorders such as autism. We were considered quacks for promoting false hope, for talking about comorbid health issues, removing gluten, dairy, and sugar, healing an impaired gut with probiotics, the importance of eliminating toxins from our food and our environment. Things that were considered quackery when we started talking about them 15 years ago that have now been backed and supported by science. We questioned big ag, big food, and big pharma and encouraged people to do their own research. We were conduits connecting families with doctors and scientists leading the charge. Americans are dependent on our systems and institutions that continue to keep us sick because there's more profit in that. They don't want empowered Americans, they want compliant ones. This week, many advocates, experts, and leaders in health and nutrition appeared before Congress asking them to take action against these big corporations that are making us and our kids sick. People like Vani Hari, the food babe, Jillian Michaels, Max Lugavere, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and more, whom I've had the honor of working with, befriending, and interviewing over the last several years. Good people that know and trust the science. The media's portrayal is to position them as woo-woo or as right-wing nut jobs, neither of which are true. American health is not political, it is nonpartisan, and should be a priority for all of us. It's important that we keep pushing these issues, having these conversations, and fighting for change. Thank you, Kelly Means, for collecting these bright leaders and bringing them together. Thank you all for being brave enough to stand up against the systems designed to keep Americans sick. I've talked about my brother's journey my family's journey with my brother who has autism. So ever since then, I've been fundraising and, working in this world since I was 15. And I know people know me for podcasting. They know me for my live shows, but I've done a lot of work prior to that. And it wouldn't be true to that history if I didn't continue to support that mission, especially since many of these people I know personally and I consider them friends. And I've, had them on the show for many, many years. So I will get off my soapbox because I know we have lots of tea that we want to get into. But I just wanted to say thank you to all of them, and thank you to Kelly Means for organizing this. Again, this is not a political thing. Our health should be a priority for all of us. It wasn't until my brother was diagnosed with autism that my family woke up and that I opened up my eyes and did my own research and learned a lot. And, it's unfortunately not until it hits us at home that we finally then open our eyes. So I'm telling you, open your eyes now before it affects you and your family. And let's keep our kids safe. Let's keep them healthy. And let's, take control of our health back. Okay. That said, I do want to get into a lot of juicy pop culture talk. And the only person that I can have on today, especially to talk about all the Diddy stuff, because I know she's gone on a real deep dive into it all. You know her from Daily Dose of Donna. Please welcome back to No Filter, Donna Bowling.
Hello, good morning.
How are you, love?
It's bright and early.
It is bright and early. When do you normally tape your show?
2 hours after this. So 11 a.m. Pacific. So I usually give myself a little bit more time, but I kind of like this early bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Like I worked out, showered, didn't blow dry my hair, got ready, and now I have nothing but the rest of the day to live.
It's the best. I mean, by 3:00, your days. Well, I mean, you still have the kids, and I'm sure they're in school and they get home after that. But so the day will keep going.
I feel like my day never ends. It keeps going. And then I was talking about it earlier, and I whatever, I'll get into it later on my show. But my dreams, I've been having crazy vivid dreams. So I feel like I don't even sleep when I'm sleeping.
Are they like premonition dreams?
I have no idea, but they're so crazy vivid. Like I remember what people smell like in my dreams. I remember what they're wearing. I remember what text message, like what it looks like when I'm reading the text message and what they say. And I remember sounds. I mean, it's so crazy. But I think it's Diddy's fault.
Probably.
Everything is.
Everything is Diddy's fault right now.
Yep.
We will get into Diddy in just a bit, but I want to start off with your reaction to the news that Anna Delvey has been voted off of Dancing with the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Nava. Is she still on that show? She's not on that
She
show.
is.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Len Goodman's not. Len Goodman. He died.
Len Goodman died. What a sweet man. He was such a lovely man, but he died. And then of course they have Bruno, Derek Huff, Carrie Nava.
Carrie Nava.
I know it's so stuck in your head.
Dancing the cha-cha. What is your reaction? Because she got voted off. She's the first celebrity to get voted off Dancing with the Stars. And she said that she takes nothing away from this experience.
Dude. Okay, so 2 of them got eliminated. I was actually really surprised. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched, Tori Spelling and Anna Delvey got eliminated.
Oh, Tori did too? What?
Yeah,
They
I
eliminated
know.
2 of them? Oh, well, I wanted Tori to go a couple. I like Tori.
So I'm convinced, and listen, I don't have any insider information on the voting practices and the side. I know obviously my husband works on the show, but he's camera. So he's there for rehearsals and he does the interviews and stuff, but he's not like a producer. He doesn't know like what's really happening back there. I'm convinced a lot of the eliminations, especially at the very beginning, are producer picks. The reason why is last season, the first person that was eliminated was like raising some issues about union. It was during the strike. And he was like raising issues about SAG and union. And then he got eliminated first. He was the guy from Veep, Matt Walsh. I think it was Matt Walsh, but not like the political Matt Walsh. He's the actor one. Eliminated first. And then this time it's Anna Delvey. And I'll just tell you, I'm sure you probably kind of can feel this. I don't think she was a joy to work with. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she was never a joy in general. Like if we watched Finding Anna on Netflix, which was obviously, fictionalized and hyperbolized, but still like she's never been a good person. She's never been a nice person.
No, she's an unlikable human being and a criminal. And the whole casting choice of this, I don't know why. I don't know the backstory of why they decided to do this. Did it receive press for the show? Yes. Does this show need press? Like, this is a show. I had a choice. If I had a choice, hi, Sydney Sweeney. And you're not Sydney Sweeney, the Sydney Sweeney, but I love you anyway. I will say that I think what would have been a better choice is to bring I told my husband, I was like, "Just bring a big reality star." Like, those people are Bravo people would show
Yeah.
up just like they did for Ariana. So,
Yeah.
I don't know why they chose her. I think it was a big mistake. I think she came on maybe they were hoping for some big redeeming, like, story, like she was gonna come out of the wing, but she was so unlikable, I don't think
Yeah.
she ever made anyone feel, like, warm and fuzzy.
No, she was completely unlikable. I think had she come in with a little humility, like this was her chance to rehab her image to the public. Like this was the one time she was being reintroduced to the public outside of all of the criminal scandal. And like she really she did herself no favor. She acted like she didn't really want to be there. She, just didn't give much of a shit. And I was disappointed because I actually thought that, like, she's an interesting person, that I would have liked to have seen a different side of her,
Mhm.
but no, she didn't give us anything. She didn't act like she really even wanted to be there.
No, it felt like it was we were in her way, like, "Ugh, gotta go do Dancing with the Stars."
Yeah,
I
like, what
just
was
don't I just don't know how in the world I mean, and some people were saying, like, maybe it's a language barrier and, English is not her please. She's
no,
like, "No, nothing. This was horrible." Like, I felt bad for her partner, Ezra.
he was sweet.
He's so sweet, young, fresh, like, I really, really feel bad for him, and I'm hoping that, he comes back next season. But did you see that whole thing between her and Maxim yesterday?
Yes, where he said that she dances like shit, and then she's like, "Who is he? He sounds poor."
And the second I saw that, I was like, "She's gone." Like,
Yeah,
Maxim to Dancing with the Stars is royalty. Like, yeah, you're not messing with that.
yeah, and did you hear the rumors about her crying in the bathroom?
No, but oh, yes, yes, after the first round or something
Yeah,
after
yeah.
yeah.
She was in the bathroom crying because of all the backlash. I
Okay.
just don't think she cared about it. Like, she didn't really wanna be there. Somebody convinced her it was a good idea. It was an easy way for her to make some money, and so she did it.
I'm very confused by Kelly Catrone. So Kelly Catrone, remember Kelly Catrone?
Yeah.
She's like
From
the
the hits.
the
Yeah.
stylist that does all these big does she have her own line or she's just like a stylist? I can't remember.
I feel like she has her own line.
Yeah, she's like a tough woman, like a
Yeah,
tough fashion lady. She was on The Hills, which was like
yeah.
what made her famous, and then, she's been around. But she was recently spotted with Anna Delvey at like some farmer's market right before this announced, and she's been really promoting the crap out of her. So I'm confused by that relationship. Like,
They're working
why?
together. She's helping Anna Delvey develop a fashion line, and I believe Anna's living with her. Or, like,
Mm,
living in one of her places like, there's some sort of living situation and a working situation that they have together. Listen, Kelly Catrone, you need to know when to lean into scandal, and I think Kelly Catrone is somebody that, knows Anna Delvey was such a big, like, fashion forward person because she would, like, style herself to go to court, and, like, she knows that Anna Delvey's gonna make headlines, and she knows that Anna Delvey's influential when it comes to fashion, that I think it might not be the worst idea for Kelly Catrone to work with her. I just think Anna Delvey's not gonna she hasn't been, and I don't think she's gonna be doing herself any favors. Like, she's just ruining herself.
yeah, it's not for me. It's a no for me. Like,
No.
I'm not following Anna Delvey anywhere.
I agree. Let's talk about Erica's earrings really quickly because people keep DMing me and like commenting, and they're like, well, "What do you have to say about Erica's earrings now?" And I'm personally on the boat of like, I'm tired of talking about the fucking earrings. I don't care about Erica's earrings. But so Ronald Richards was tweeting about a hearing that happened, I believe, Tuesday morning, about the earrings. Now, I want to clarify because every time I've covered this, I've always been very clear with everyone that there's been no final judgment made in terms of who is the owner of the earrings because they had to determine, does the estate own the earrings, does Erica own the earrings, or do the victims that whose money was used to purchase the earrings, are they entitled to keep the earrings? A judge had to make a ruling on who the earrings legally belong to. Erica's defense was, well, they were a gift that I got back in 1999 or 2000. So it was well before the money was ever stolen from the Resolin case, which happened in, I believe, 2007. And so to brief everybody, there was a class action lawsuit. Tom Girardi or Girardi Keys is representing a group of patients that suffered liver damage as a result of a drug called Resolin. Okay. So he won some money for them. Their money went into a trust account. He used that money to buy Erica a pair of earrings. Now, this was a replacement pair of earrings from the earrings that Erica originally received. And I don't remember if it was 99 or 2000. It was at the start of their marriage. And the earrings were stolen in, I believe, 2005 or 2006. So he purchased a replacement pair of earrings. So she's saying they were a long-standing gift that I had for over 2 decades. Obviously, there's also the legal side of it if she's not going to give it the earrings because the second you give up one of your assets, it's not court mandated. That could imply guilt. And then eventually everybody that's suing you or wants to sue you will sue you for any assets that you have. So there is a legal defense behind that. That said, she appealed. The court had the earrings. They were in a safety deposit box, and the trustee decided that they were going to auction off those earrings. So they auctioned off the earrings, and the earrings were purchased by none other than Ronald Richards himself. He bought the earrings for, I believe, $250,000. They were originally valued at $750,000. So he got a major discount. He got his little Kmart earrings. He gave them to his wife. His wife went on Instagram, was wearing the earrings, tagging Erica in her Instagram posts, flaunting the earrings, saying she was going to have Girardi removed from the earrings because she liked them. And I believe her exact wording was, Erica, now I see why you fought so hard to keep these earrings. They're lovely. So Ronald Richards has continued to report on this case. To me, him even purchasing the earrings sounds like a conflict of interest since he was formerly hired by the trustee to investigate Erica specifically. He ultimately didn't find anything incriminating, which is why Erica has not been charged with anything. There are a number of civil lawsuits against her. As what we did find out is that her Amex card was being paid for by Girardi Keys. Now, the most recent hearing, so Erica did appeal them selling the earrings to Ronald Richards, and she won her appeal because the trustee failed to provide evidence that proved that the earrings belonged to Girardi Keys. Why? Because the money that was used to purchase those earrings was technically money for the Resolin clients. So the argument was that they could potentially be the owners of those earrings because it was their money that was used to purchase that. Now, this case happened back in 2007, so it's been well over a decade now. I would be surprised if all of these Resolin patients or clients are even still alive at this point because they were in an older age bracket. So 15, almost 20 years later, it's possible that many of them aren't even around. They may not even have a claim to the earrings or the money because at this point there may be a statute of limitations issue. It's all very, very complicated. A court then decided, or a judge decided on Tuesday this morning that the earrings should be property of the estate because it was technically Girardi Keys' money that was used to purchase that pair of earrings. So, because it was their money and because there was money that was mixed between client money and money that was entitled to Girardi Keys is technically entitled to that money. And since that was Girardi Keys' money, they're entitled to those earrings. The earrings, as I said, are currently in possession of Ronald Richards and his wife, who is flaunting them on Instagram right now. So Erica does not have the earrings. She has not had them for a while. She won her original appeal, but the judge has determined that the earrings are property of the estate. Does this help any of the victims? No. Unfortunately, many of the victims or many of the clients that didn't have money don't have actual they're basically at the back of the line, long story short. There are debt collectors and banks that Tom Girardi borrowed money from. Those are the people that the trustee is working to pay off because they're at the front of the line, because they have actual contracts or collateral that's tied to what they're owed. So that money doesn't go to the victims. And if it should go to any victims, in my opinion, it should go to those Resolin clients who at this point, I don't even think are even aware of what the fuck is going on with the earrings and with this money. So that's the brief on what is going on with the earrings. They don't support any victims. Erica doesn't have them. The only person that benefits from all of this is Ronald Richards' wife, who's flaunting them on Instagram right now. She got them for a discount. They're her Goodwill earrings.
Whoa, whoa, and there's nothing else to say. I just think earrings got a really good publicist over the last year because we've talked about earrings in
yeah. Like, but these earrings we've talked about for like 4 years now.
You don't. Okay. I think Erica, if Erica was smart, she wouldn't want these earrings anymore. It's like, why would you even want to be ever close to anything,
Yeah.
connected to this world?
I think she's done with this world. I don't think she wants anything to do with this world anymore. I just think she's naturally tied to him. She's still married to him.
I can't. Like, horrible.
Well, horrible. And I think, from my understanding, if she divorces him, I think she may have to pay him spousal support because Tom Girardi asked for spousal support in his response to her filing back in 2020.
Just let him die.
I think that's why her attorney's not pressing the divorce right now, is because Girardi will probably fight for spousal support or some
But
sort.
when he does die, it's Diddy's fault.
It is
Allegedly.
allegedly. I know you've
Do
been
you think
beat.
Tom Girardi and Diddy had a connection? Not like that kind of a connection.
No. Yeah. But I mean, I'm thinking about it.
I'm curious if they ever like worked together. Think about it. He's a big attorney. He worked with all the big, sheriff department in Los Angeles. Diddy.
That's a really good point. I don't know.
Maybe.
Very well connected. I'm sure he went. Okay, well, I do want to get into this because I see all these celebrities that are now being tied into these articles with, going to Diddy parties, and I'm curious what your thought on all of, like, what these connections are. But before we do, I do want to just give a quick shout out. We'll get into all of the Diddy drama in just a sec, and the Bethenny Frankel stuff, but really quickly, as Donna herself knows, it is back to school season, and you guys know what that means. It means that we got lots of angsty teens running around. But don't worry, because I've got the secret weapon to keep you covered, and that is Raise by BioRay for teens who want to feel good. I've been taking BioRay supplements for well over a decade at this point. They're a science-backed staple in my family, using expertly formulated Chinese herbal and adaptogenic blended tinctures. So if you've got some kids with some issues that you want to address, is your teen on a sugar rampage, maybe stuck in cranky mode because we're getting back on a schedule, then I highly suggest you try their Life is Peachy drops. Or if they're having trouble sleeping at night, try the Dream Machine drops. Or maybe they need a little help staying focused throughout the day, then definitely give them some thinking cap drops. The thinking cap drops are actually my personal favorite because I have so many tabs that are open in my brain that they just keep me focused. So whatever you need, Raise by BioRay has you covered. And even better, as a back to school special, you automatically get 15% off this week only. You only have until the 30th, which is on Monday. 15% off automatically applied. Plus, you get free shipping when you use code ZACK, ZACK. That's code ZACK for free shipping on your next order at bioray.com. That's BIORAY, bioray.com, and use code ZACK, ZACK, to get free shipping and 15% off right now. Your teens will thank you for it. And you'll probably thank me after. So go check them out. Bioray.com. Okay, Donna. Are you ready to dive into all the Diddy? Well, actually, before we dive into Diddy, what do you think of Bethenny stomping down the runway? Everyone's saying Ramona walked so that Bethenny could walk.
Walk. Could
Well,
stomp.
I think so she could stomp is really what it is.
I talked about this yesterday. I will say, like, I could do a whole thesis, a whole 7-part deep dive on Bethenny with my, some would call it an obsession with her content. Like, I can't get enough, and I don't know if I like it or don't like it. It's so weird with her. She really, this was the moment of her life. Like, you could tell with her responses to the video and her emotions and her Oscar speech in the limo afterwards. I don't know if you saw that, how I'm
Was
worthy,
that the
I'm
same
worthy,
night?
I'm worthy. So
Was
I
that the
think,
same night? Because she was
what'd
in
you
a
say?
different dress. Was that the same night? Was it the,
Yeah.
the night of the fashion show? Yeah.
Yeah, afterwards, she went to, I guess, a party or whatever, and then she came home in that limo, and I'm imagining her whole team, or her daughter at least, was with her in that car when she was hysterical, and, like, I really do feel like this was the pinnacle of her life, and for that, that's pretty freaking exciting and cool for her. I'm not one to talk crap about someone walking in a fashion show when I'm sitting here talking about someone walking in a fashion show.
Yeah.
The walk itself, like, she posted yesterday the rehearsal walk when she had clogs on, and then the original, like, so the OG walk and then the actual walk. And I wish she didn't wear those shoes, which she said she chose. She wanted to do this weird giraffe looking stomp. She wanted to look like a giraffe, she said. I really wish she just would have been more comfortable, and she would have been way more. She seemed nervous
Do you
walking, that she was going
do
to
you
fall.
do you believe her when she says that she wanted to look like a giraffe? That she said she specifically wanted to look like a giraffe. Do you believe that?
I think Bethenny is the queen of the spin. It's all her
Yes.
idea, right?
Yeah.
Like, no matter what happens, good or bad, it's because of something she chose. Like, this was
Yeah.
and she's smart that way. She stays on top, right?
It was the way she just, like, stomped, like, you could just tell she was not comfortable, and walking in those shoes was uncomfortable, and that's why she started doing, like, her awkward little dance, but then she realized she couldn't dance because she couldn't walk, and so I just think it was so cringe, and she was a little embarrassing, and she's just like, "I have to be cringe and own this," but she wouldn't admit that it was cringe. She's like, "I wanted to look like a giraffe. Like, this was about expression, and I wanted to express myself in this way." I'm just like, "Listen, own that you thought that the shoes were gonna slap with that outfit, and they
Mhm.
just didn't. You
Mhm.
thought it was gonna be a great look, and listen, they looked great, but they just weren't functional for a runway like that. Like, and you just have to be like, "Listen, I picked the wrong shoes. They looked great, the photos looked great, but I couldn't walk in them, and you know what? I'm still happy because 'cause I'm up here and you're down here."
Exactly, and the truth is, like, at the end of the day, we didn't walk in the fashion show. We weren't slapping a high five to Viola Davis and having, Heidi Klum give us a
Like
high five backstage. So,
Jane Fonda.
she's doing her thing, and she's killing it, but I do believe that if she really wanted to do that giraffe thing, she would have been so much more pronounced with
Yeah,
it the entire time. See, it was kind of like a half giraffe and then, like, Bethenny and half giraffe.
yeah.
So you never really stepped in. Like, she was, a giraffe. Giraffes out there, Giraffe Anonymous is out there, like, they're picketing right now. They're like, do not even try to bring us into this mess.
No, because it was just I don't believe her when she's like, "I wanted to look like a giraffe." Like, it's just so preposterous that she was even trying to sell us on that, and it was just, like, the juxtaposition of it, right? Because she's like, "I want," like, she's like she has that ego, so when she's talking to us in that condescending tone of like, "I want it," like, "Joke's on you, you're making fun of me, but I wanted to look like that."
And the haters are paying for my trip to Paris. That's what she
Yeah.
said.
And then we have this other video that she puts out where she's in the back of the limo crying about, "A moment like this
This was her
seems
Kelly
to keep
Clarkson moment.
away a
No,
lifetime."
it really
Yeah,
this really was because it's so weird. I was talking to my girlfriend about this and I was like, so many, you know, A, B, C, and D list people walk in fashion shows. Like, it's not like she just literally got nominated for an Oscar or got an Oscar. Like, it is weird that this is such an emotional moment for her, but she really has taken such a pivot in the last year or two with TikTok
yeah.
and her beauty, influencing. And so I think for her, this really is her Oscar winning moment.
I mean, I guess Lisa Rinna walks in a catwalk every other day. Like she's like in the fashion world doing fashion. Like Bethany is not Lisa Rinna. She got one fashion show that she got to walk in with a number of other influencers on top of celebs like Viola Davis and Jane Fonda and Heidi Klum. Like, it wasn't a star-studded. I mean, there were a lot of stars in it, but it wasn't an all-star runway show.
Yeah.
Listen, and like you said, like, we're not there, and there listen, my issue, like, I want her to have the moment. I just don't like that she's, like, condescending and, like, her ego is just what makes her so distasteful.
Yeah. I agree. I think that she will never be able to just, like, hear criticism and let it be, let it lie. She thrives on people criticizing her so that she can come back and, like, school them. Like,
Yeah.
someone had asked in a comment, on a TikTok from a few days before saying, "Why aren't you speaking about the Diddy stuff?" And her response was in a TikTok while she was getting her hair done. And she's like, "What kind of a stupid question is this? I have to respond." And then she goes on and responds for 30 minutes about it. She talks about every celebrity. So it's not that weird that someone would say, "Why aren't you commenting on the Diddy thing?" But everything is like, "You're such an idiot." Right?
Yeah, and it's just it's annoying because it's like there's this vulnerability that she has, which is what we saw in the limo, and I think that's what made her so relatable in on Real Housewives of New York, is that wanted to root for her, and
Yeah.
now she has these moments where she's just like, "I have fuck you money, and I make chicken salad happen," and all, like, she just, like, has this ego to her that is so distasteful. And then she like jumps back and forth between when she's like big and bad and she's richer than you. And
Yeah.
then when she's, I'm just like you. And if I can do it, you can do it. If I can rock in a runway for L'Oreal with Jane Fonda, you can too.
Can I? But can I, Bethenny? She's like, I'm worthy. So you are too. Zack, you're next.
She's literally like, if I can do it, you can do it. You can do it because you were on a television show that gave you a platform and you made a lot of money off of that platform. Like, that's why you can do it, even though she continues to shit on that platform.
It's a tale as old as time, but I will tell you, her people are crazy in terms of her stands. Like when I tell you, I've never been hated more on social media than when I talk badly about Bethenny.
It's
So I
weird.
try to toe the line.
It's so weird. Oh, Pamela says, does anyone remember when Bethenny wore her daughter's dress to show how skinny she was? Remember that when she put the PJs on?
Yeah, and she got told by the judge or there was some sort of thing like stop wearing your daughter's pajamas. It's weird.
It was weird. I think it was her custody battle with
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
It was weird. But so I've seen, because you have been posting a lot about Diddy on your Instagram stories.
Yeah.
And now there's this new Kim Porter book that's come out.
Yeah.
Do you believe the Kim Porter book? Do you think that it's real? Because now
Okay.
that it's the friends that are like saying, oh, she wrote these diary entries back then, and now we're publishing them now.
Okay. So I have to say, at first I did. At first I did, and I didn't obviously get my hands on the book, but I watched this amazing creator break it down over like 6 parts, right? And she spoke fast and and I took copious notes so I could share it with my audience. And then, so one day, I think 2 days ago, I released like a lot of the details that seem so real, but they are bad, you guys.
Yeah.
Like the worst of the worst things you could ever imagine, you're hearing about in this book. Immediately, people are starting to say it's not real. Amazon has removed it from their shelves.
Oh,
You cannot purchase it on Amazon. The link is broken, like you can't find the book. Her family, of course, is coming out and saying it's not real.
yeah.
And many people are saying it's not real. I'm someone to not believe anything anymore. Like now I'm so cautious of everything I hear. For example, her family, her 4 kids with Diddy have released like a joint statement this morning saying, all these rumors and this never happened to her. I like, do I believe that her kids actually wrote that? Do I believe anything about this? No, I think that it's so many bad things happen. So whether or not she wrote the book or her close people wrote the book and put it under her name or I don't know. But because it's not confirmed, it feels like an illegitimate source
Yeah.
because it's just like think about the worst possible things you can read and it's in that book.
And some people have read, because you said the TikToker broke it all down in 6 parts. What was in the book, right?
Mhm. And whatever is in this book and whoever wrote it really truly like made him, and I mean, I think he is a monster. I don't think anyone can question that, but really doubled down and named names. And I think that that's why it's so crazy. Now, someone in the comments is saying, like, there's absolutely no way that this book is real. Her kids just said it wasn't real. And I just want you to remember that OJ Simpson's kids defended OJ after Nicole Brown was murdered. And I think it's very, very hard to take a children's account on something. It's so hard for kids to go against their dad, who's been their sole parent
Yeah.
for these last however many years and has been their sole provider and affords them a very, very nice lifestyle, I'm sure. Come on. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I want to respect their kids, which is why
Yeah.
I don't think we should go into detail of what's in this book.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that the kids have the answer or know the
Yeah,
truth.
because you also have to understand, like, the kids, that's still their mom, but she's no longer here. So I'm sure they don't wanna believe this stuff about their father, on top of the fact that they still wanna respect their mother, and, like, they don't want somebody running around with a book that that is in some way exploiting her, but may or may not actually be her words, right?
Yeah.
because we also don't have, my understanding is the book itself doesn't have like her actual entries in like her handwriting. It's all typed out. So that's also questioning the legitimacy of it too.
Yeah, there's no, like, super proof of it, and so, unfortunately, I feel like it's just really salacious. If it's true, it's shocking. If it's not true, and I think it's somewhere in between.
Yeah. I agree. Now I'm seeing every day it's like another article of another celebrity being tied to Diddy, whether it's Ashton Kutcher or Khloe Kardashian was at these parties, or they have photos of Jessica Parker at Diddy parties. Do you think that all of the Khloe Kardashian and Sarah Jessica Parker and Ashton Kutcher and Leonardo DiCaprio and J-Lo, do you think they're all involved in what Diddy was doing?
No, and I think that to go to someone's party, we've all been to events and parties held by people that we don't agree with their takes on life and like to see what they're doing in their spare time. How many people have gone to parties at, criminals' homes and had no idea? Like, or even just your neighbor's house. You had no idea that he was meanwhile, running a fraudulent business and you had no
Yeah.
idea. Like
Yeah.
it happens all the time. So these parties were big PR events, right? Regis Philbin was at one of the parties. Like,
Yeah.
when I saw Reg, I was like, "Oh, we're good." Like, this is the clean version of the white parties that he would have. I think he had 2 versions of parties. He had his Hollywood parties. It was like all the executives, the agents, the managers, the studios, the, celebrities, the big names would come, and then there was a select few that would stick around until, the sun came up in the morning or at a different party. I
Yeah.
don't believe that all of them are involved. However, I do believe some of them dabbled. I will always think Ashton Kutcher is involved.
Yeah, there's something I agree, and to your point about the parties, I don't think that this was openly happening in the backyard in the pool, right, where everyone's hanging out. I think there was probably a separate section where, a room in the basement, I mean, not the actual basement, but they have, like, theater, they have all these other, I'm sure he maybe
It's a
even a
huge
room dedicated.
palatial
Yes.
mansion, yeah.
I'm sure that was like the ultra VIP. If you know, you know. If you
Mhm.
know the passcode, if you know the knock on the door, they let you in. Not literally, but you know.
Do, 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 do,
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, but it's happening not out in the open. It's happening with the select group of people that know what's happening and they're doing their thing, in Dorit's bathroom. You know what I mean? Like there's Lisa Rinna who's stuck at the table and she's at the party, but she doesn't know what's going on. But everyone else is in Dorit's bathroom doing what they're doing.
Yep. No, 100%. So I wanna be very clear about that, because a lot of people get very upset. "I can't believe that you're assuming just because someone is at." No one is. No one is. I think there was a huge circle and web of people that were involved, most of them being in the music industry, and then there was probably some people who dabbled a little bit, maybe did some drugs with him, maybe,
Yeah,
hooked up with some of the girls that he brought to the parties, whatever, but weren't necessarily engaged in these so-called what they call freak offs, these late night crazy, really, really maybe dangerous for some of the people involved kinds of nights.
yeah. Ashton Kutcher. So there's an interview. I think it was when he was on Hot Ones, the YouTube show, and he talked about having some weird memory lane moment when he was thinking about the old Diddy parties and how he can't talk about that stuff. How
So
deep do
at
you think Ashton was?
Okay, listen. I don't know anything, right?
Yeah,
I'm just like everyone else.
speculation.
The only person that knows is Ashton. I just know this. Ashton Kutcher is married to Mila Kunis, who he met when she was underage on a TV show. Does that mean that you can't be in love when you're both consenting adults? No, of course that means like they did everything legally, right? As far as we know. But there's something a little bit strange about that world. The
Yeah,
Scientology, the Danny Masterson, the disgusting, horrible stories of, SA and Grape with Danny Masterson.
yeah,
And the fact that Ashton and Mila wrote that letter, which really ruined their career last year,
yeah,
like that letter was so wildly shocking to see because Ashton and Mila, who are Ashton, forget Mila, who is Ashton Kutcher before the Danny Masterson stuff? Ashton is like, I'm the good one,
he's a good guy.
right?
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm the fun one. I'm the sweet one. I'm the smart one. I'm the one that, invests in Twitter before, of course, it became like, where it is now. But I am like really into kids growing their education and stopping child sex trafficking. Right? I'm going on into Congress and talking about how all these bad things. There is something about people like this that always make me go, especially when behind the scenes you're, talking to a judge saying how amazing this convicted, you know, can I say the R word here? I don't know if I can on
I
YouTube.
don't either.
Okay. The convicted rapist
Yeah.
is how amazing he is. And please don't give him a hard sentence. So that already put us under with Ashton.
Yep.
I do believe Ashton Kutcher was definitely engaged in some shady
Yeah.
activity.
And then remember,
Oh, and then the girl,
video?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I remember the girl.
his
Uh,
date. He was gonna go on a date back in
yeah.
the, 2000 something, I can't remember. He was going on a date, and he went to her house, and wow, that woman just was murdered.
Yeah. It's crazy. And then remember the video that him and Mila put out where they just seemed so like she seemed so irritated that she had to talk about why they wrote the letter and like
Mhm.
it was like a weird like under duress video that they put out to defend why they wrote that letter for Danny Masterson.
The video was worse than the letter, in my opinion,
Yeah,
for their
I
careers.
agree. I agree. Like they
Yeah.
should have just never addressed or issued a statement or something. Like Mila looks so pissed in that video.
It looked like she was like, "You stupid MF, you've told me that if I wrote this letter, no one would ever find it." Like, she was
Yeah.
so mad. There's no way that their marriage hasn't struggled since then,
Oh,
and now there's all these blind items.
yep, about them now they're what, not living together and stuff?
Yeah, I do there are some things that I've heard from people that are at the same school that they're at with their kids, and they are still being seen together and stuff. So, I mean, I don't think that they're in a position where they're like, "Never talk to me again,"
Yeah.
but I can't imagine a marriage is gonna be easy to survive all of this crazy, crazy stuff.
Well, now people are saying that Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, and Ben Affleck, the reason they split is because of her relation to all the Diddy stuff that he discovered.
Very possible. I think he
Do you
just couldn't
really think
stand her.
J-Lo was involved? Yeah, I don't think he really liked her that much. I think he thought he did, and, like, when you rekindle with an ex, like, you're in that honeymoon phase, you're like, "Oh, it's meant to be," and, like, you just kinda get caught up in that, and then the public is egging it on, and I just think he got caught up in that because he also if that was the case, then he wouldn't have been with her at the Polo Lounge, what was it, last weekend? Last week?
Yeah, no, I
It's
mean, they have a really weird toxic, like, on and off feeling. They're like do you watch, Tell Me Lies?
no,
Zach,
I know.
get on that. This is like toxic crushes, like, it is literally a show about, like, being into the guy that is the worst person, and you can't get over him.
Mm.
And this is I feel like it's a Ben and Jen sitch.
Although she's the worst person.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've all heard stories. She was definitely in a lot of those pictures from the white parties. I mean, she was around during those times. I just
Yeah.
think it's the company you keep.
Yeah, and
It's the
listen,
company
and
you keep.
that's not to say that she's complicit in it or she engaged in it, but, like, it a lot of times what people don't realize is when you have a figure like Diddy who is so powerful and influential, I think similar to, like, Tom Girardi,
Yeah.
people just are like, "I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna stay
Mhm.
over here in this corner. I'm gonna drink my drink. I'm gonna do whatever's on the table and enjoy my night and have fun. I don't need to know what he's doing in the other room over there. I don't wanna know. I'm just gonna enjoy myself, and if I don't know, I'm good."
It's it's actually pretty scary to think about how many people are that's happening with still to this day.
Mhm.
How many really high-powered people I mean, think about it. If you are and even this horrible new lawsuit that came out against him yesterday. So this new lawsuit came out from this woman, Talia Graves, and she had a big press conference yesterday with Gloria Allred. And you know when a woman gets up there with Gloria Allred, like, it is a big one. And I believe every word of it because
That's who
hello,
Rachel Leviss needed.
she really needed not Bethany, she needed Gloria.
Yeah,
I still think it wouldn't have worked for her.
no.
So Talia is talking about how in 2001 there was this horrible experience that she had in a studio with Diddy and his I can't remember who it was. This Sherman guy, Joseph Sherman, but I don't remember how he's related to Diddy, if he was like a lawyer or a business partner, whatever. You know, this news story that has come out about him, it's just because now people are feeling so much safer to say, but
Yeah.
she's been holding on to this for 23 years. And it sounds awful if you
Yeah.
look at the details. So she's been holding on to it for 23 years. People are petrified, which is why I've become obsessed with everything online that Jaguar Wright, Cat Williams,
Mhm.
and Gene Deal are saying. And those three, I I'll stick with Jaguar and Gene because those two, Jaguar Wright was a singer who worked with all of these people, and she was backup singer for Jay-Z during like when he did his MTV Unplugged performance. That was like a really big deal. It was like the top, you know, Jay-Z moments. So she was around. She was around during all of that. And she is opening up and saying a lot. And then Gene Deal, he's incredibly smart. He was Diddy's bodyguard. He saw everything. He saw
Yeah.
everything.
And so he's now coming out and detailing everything?
Yeah, they have been. That's the craziest
Yeah.
thing. They
They
have
have
been.
been. Well, like Aubrey O'Day.
Yep. And we're like, oh, they crazy. They are so crazy.
It's interesting. What do you think of the Jay-Z and Beyonce relation to it? Do you think that there was some involvement?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about Beyonce. I can't speak on Beyonce, but I can speak on Jay-Z because Jay-Z was very much connected to Sean Combs in those early years. I mean, Kim Porter talks very much in that alleged book about Jay-Z being there. Jay-Z and Sean Combs. Well, it's Sean Carter, isn't that his name? I
Yeah.
think it's Sean Carter and Sean Combs now. It's like confusing a little bit, all their real names and their, you know, but yes, they were very much aligned and together. And Jaguar Wright has said many times, she said she's only signed 2 NDAs in her entire life, and both of them have been with Jay-Z. And she said every single thing about Jay-Z leaves her with shame to this day, which is crazy because Jay-Z is like, again, the nice one,
Yeah.
the nice,
Well,
good one,
I
right?
was watching are you familiar with, Aphrodite on YouTube, the psychic?
No.
Okay, so he's a psychic, he pulls cards, he does a lot of celebrity readings,
Okay.
and I was watching his video, and this was days before the Diddy arrest happened. A couple days before, he did this reading, and the reading was on Nicki Minaj, or it was supposed to be on Nicki Minaj because I think she has an issue with I think it was Jay-Z. There was some issue that she had that eventually the reading ended up becoming all about Jay-Z and Beyonce. And he's like, "Oh, there's some darkness around their relationship right now." And he's like, "Diddy did something. And Diddy has money that's not clean." I'm paraphrasing. And Diddy did money, has some money that's not clean. And now whatever's about to go down is going to affect Beyonce. And she's pissed at him. And then next thing you
Mm.
know it, the Diddy arrest comes out. Jay-Z begins getting connected to it. And um, then it became about um Jay-Z being related to like the Diddy stuff and being involved or knowing or having shared companies where assets were moving through to protect Diddy in some way, and how Beyonce is connected to it through her marriage with Diddy, or sorry, through her marriage with Jay-Z, but she's not directly involved. But now she's pissed because now she knows that this is going to hurt her career and her image altogether. And so, you know,
Do you remember when Beyonce's sister, like,
oh,
punched Jay-Z?
yes, in the elevator.
Like, something's going on there.
Something's been going on there.
For sure. For sure. And Jay-Z was definitely around during all these years. They had so much business together. They were in and out of meetings together, in and out of events, probably, you know, going to doing all these parties together. There is no way. Like, I can't wrap my brain around the fact that's the Ashton Danny Masterson connection too. It's like
Yeah,
if Danny Masterson was engaging in all this bad behavior and you were like so broed out with him that you were besties and spending all your time together, like come on,
you
come
knew.
on.
You had
And
to have known.
so I personally cannot ever wrap my head around the fact that Jay-Z was like, you know, wiped his hands clean of any of this. Like he was just living his life singing his songs. No, come on. Like they're all, and the problem is with all of these people is that because they were in so much power, because they had so much money, because they were so scary, truly scary from the stories we've heard of how many people literally either got their lives threatened, got their
Yeah.
careers blackballed completely,
Mhm.
and died,
Yeah.
actually lost lives.
Yeah. Well, Aphrodite was doing a reading specifically on Diddy, and he was like, "Oh, Diddy is a truly dark, evil person
Mhm.
and has known that he's gonna go down for a while, and he was getting worse with what he was doing because he knew the House of Cards was gonna fall at some point, so he might as well just live it up until it did." So
Yep.
he knew this was all coming out, which is why he kept all of this blackmail on people, and he's predicting that Diddy's just gonna start singing like a canary. Like Diddy knows, like at this point, it's good. I'm good. I'm going down. Like, and if I'm going down, everybody's gonna go down with me. And that
Yeah.
this man just has no soul. And like everything that we continue to hear about him really does. And then you hear about the interview that he did back in the late '90s, where he was talking about how his parties are gonna get him arrested someday.
Yeah, and he's telling Conan with the whole audience laughing, like, "I lock my girls up in the room." Like, everyone's like,
Nobody
"So
thought that he was the
funny."
yeah, nobody, like, actually believed that that was, like, a real thing, and he was just so casual with it.
It's shocking, and then the entire thing about the taping everything, so he filmed everything. Diddy filmed every single thing he did. Apparently, the feds found, tons and tons of video evidence, which gave them the
Yeah,
ability to do what they've done with the raids and the arresting and not giving him bail. Like, this is all because they have evidence for
everything,
everything,
yeah,
and so Diddy was so I mean, I don't wanna call him stupid, but so, uh, maybe I guess the word is, like, untouchable in his brain. He felt he was so untouchable that I'm gonna film everyone else doing this so that they know that they can't get on my bad side, because if they're on, my bad side, like, they're screwed. So I'm gonna film them. He didn't realize he's filming himself. He's basically giving in evidence, like, "Look at what I've done.
yeah,
Look at what I've done."
and
And there's just to me, I feel like I think the worst what gets me the worst, what really affected me with the worst is the Justin Bieber of it all.
yes, I was gonna ask you, what do you think about the Justin Bieber stuff? Because a lot of people, I mean, we have to be fair, it is all speculation, but when you look at it, something happened to Justin Bieber, and so what people are saying is that he was likely under Diddy's thumb, and that, that Diddy was taking advantage of him. And, I think Justin, as we've seen in recent years, has been going through a lot. We saw these photos of him like crying with Hailey Bieber out in public, and
Yeah.
it's it's crazy.
So Justin was a young boy. If
Yeah.
you go back, one of my favorite I love a music documentary. I'm always like I love the Dixie Chicks documentary. I love that one. That's a great one. I love the Pink one, the Lady Gaga. Like I watch all these documentaries. If you go back and you watch the Justin Bieber documentary, the first one that he ever did, and it was when he was like, just starting, Scooter Braun days, Usher days. And he was 12 when he was discovered, or 14, I can't remember. And Usher is basically he's given to Usher from his parents, like,
Yeah.
"Take my son," and we're all watching this thinking, "This is so sweet. This is so great." Like, Usher is such a good boy and, like, such a good guy. What a great mentor to have in the industry. So we're all watching the VMAs and all these events where they're showing up together arm in arm, thinking, like, "This is so great for Justin that he's given this opportunity." Justin looks so happy. And then, Usher gave Justin, apparently, this is allegedly, to Diddy to kind of also mentor him because Diddy mentored Usher. So now
Yeah.
Diddy mentors Usher, teaches Usher a lot of bad ways, probably. Usher then mentors Justin, teaches Justin all kinds of bad things. Justin then goes to Diddy. And a lot of people, Gene Deal, the bodyguard, is saying, you know, uh, Diddy only knew what he knew because he was taught this.
Yeah.
Like the people in the music industry that found him, Farrell, I forget his first name, and Clive Davis, and all these people. Like everyone, it's like you're teaching this behavior. You can do all these things because you're powerful. You can treat all these people this way. You can act however you want to act towards these women and men,
Yeah.
right? And Justin Bieber escaped this somehow, um, and has fallen apart. right? Mentally, emotionally, you see it. And he's in an interview. And I love Justin Bieber. I will always love Justin Bieber. But he's
Yeah.
in an interview that I posted yesterday. I talked about and covered on my show yesterday, where he's talking to a reporter about Billie Eilish. And Billie Eilish really looked up to Justin Bieber. She talks about this a lot, like before she made it famous, like that was her icon. And he started crying. He was like, I am so nervous because I don't want to be a bad example for Haley. I don't, not Haley, sorry, Billie Eilish. I don't want her to go through what I went through. And he starts to cry during the interview. It is such a sad moment. Justin Bieber really got, in my opinion,
Yeah.
victimized like big time.
And I think a lot of people would see these breakdowns and think, "Oh, it was because there was a lot of media pressure. There was a lot of press on him. There was a lot of pressure on him to, like, make music and make money, and he was so young." But it's like, when you look at it now, it's like there was a lot more deeper that was going on. This emotional reaction that he's having, in recent years, I think is him trying to make sense of it or trying to process it, which I'm sure for a long time he didn't allow himself to process any of this. And now that it's all coming out, I mean, there's probably even part of him that like feels conflicted that this is becoming public and there's like a level of shame that he has to carry by, having this information revealed.
Oh my gosh, of course, because he was just a kid. And
Yeah.
like, what kid doesn't get, your music, like Justin grew up probably listening to Diddy. Like this was huge for him. And he's hanging out with Jay-Z and he's hanging out with, Usher and all these 15,000 other people that just like they were giving him alcohol, like probably, right? For sure. They were giving him alcohol and God knows what else. They were probably throwing women on him. They were
Yeah.
probably, or maybe throwing men on him. I don't know. I mean, I can only imagine. Like this is how to party. You get this car, you get this, you get that, you get this chain. And like, what kid, how many of us would do the same, right? Like, not knowing the difference.
Yeah.
Like, it
You're
feels
not,
so
you
amazing in the moment. We're getting all this
you don't know
attention.
any better. Yeah.
It's so sad. And being a mom of two young boys, like, I always say this, I've said it from the beginning. I'm a former casting director for kids. That's why all of this stuff really affects me. I've seen all these Disney stars like go up and down and up and down. And like, putting your kid in this industry, music or anything, is quite possibly the most dangerous thing you can ever do. Like, we talk about them playing violent video games, please. Like, this is danger to put yourself. I guess there's people like Taylor Swift who've made it out okay because their mom literally never left their side,
Yeah.
you know?
It's
Horrible.
crazy. And then did you see the video of Justin Bieber at one of the parties, and who was he with? It was 2 other guys that he was with in the video. I saw it circulating on TikTok, and it
I saw
just
it too, and now I can't remember, but shady.
shady. You can tell, like, he's not all there. He's clearly under the influence of something, and it just I don't know.
Trey Songs.
Trey Songz was one of
But I
them.
don't think that that's what happened. I'm looking at the comment. I didn't see that. I just saw
Oh,
that
yeah,
he was
yeah,
at
yeah.
the club.
Yes, and so that's what people are saying that it looked like because he was head down, and then when the camera comes on, he kinda, like, moves up, but he's head down in somebody's lap, and I believe it was Trey Songz's lap,
I can't. I can't. I can't. I
and
can't.
it's
Like, I cannot handle how sick and disgusting. That's why I'm like, someone someone sent me a message, like we get a lot of love and hate from our listeners, and someone sent me a message and was like, "You are the most disgusting person that you're, talking so badly about Diddy. You don't know he's not guilty." I'm like, "Wait, what?" There are people actually that think he's like this is all fake?
yeah.
It's so wild.
Listen, and I'm always on the innocent until proven guilty, but it's like, at this point, it's not necessarily about being proven guilty in the court of law, which will happen, I'm sure, at a very soon time, but it's like these other people have been telling us these stories about what's been going like it's all happening right before it's been happening right before our eyes. We just haven't wanted to really believe it.
100%. 100%. And it's, Zach, I mean, I don't want to sound crazy here, but I feel like I've already become crazy with this whole story. Cause now I was deep diving last night. Like, is Twitch connected? Was Twitch
Oh.
connected?
Was he? What do you think?
Ellen and Diddy were very close. Just saying.
Do you think
Now,
Ellen
like, some of this
did?
can be conspiracy theory, and I love a good conspiracy theory. Like, I am Craig Conover through and through with the foil hat. Like, I want to but I do believe that actually Diddy was responsible for the death of my grandfather in 2001. Just kidding. Like, I just think that everyone and anyone who has died in the Hollywood industry somehow is connected. Like,
Yeah.
did anyone look up, like, why did Robert Kardashian actually die? Like, what's like, my brain was going to bad places. Like, I'm starting to question everything now.
Yeah.
Crazy?
Do you think Ellen was involved?
I think Ellen is the most unlikable person. Like, I wouldn't
Well,
put
because you
anything
think
past
about
her.
it, she was also very close with Justin Bieber. Um,
Very close to Justin Bieber, very close to
wow, my
Diddy. She had
mind is like the light bulbs are going off because I'm like, yeah, I mean, we've heard the things about remember her Wayfair scandal?
Of course, and the dog, she also had a dog, adoption agency, Wagmore Pets, that she was very, very big on, and she would always promote them, and this ended up being, like, a fake rescue agency, and it was like, Ellen, you guys, I am past trying to protect Ellen DeGeneres. Actually, I don't think I ever protected Ellen DeGeneres because someone in my family was a casting director on her show, the scripted show, so this is so many years ago. This is the show that she was on when she came out,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and, and she was awful to her. Awful, 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 like threw food at her, like awful. So this is a woman that is clearly also secretly a monster, not really anymore secretly. I think everyone kind of knows. And she just had her last Netflix special come out this week. Have you heard about it?
It comes out did it come out already? On the
I thought
24th?
it came out, oh, maybe the
It should.
26th, maybe tomorrow.
No, I think it was the 24th.
Oh, so yesterday. Okay, I saw a review. I haven't seen it. I saw a review that is unbearable, like so
Really?
hard to watch. I think that woman is she's got there's skeletons, and maybe I'm being like crazy here, but nothing can shock me anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being like in high school hearing about the Ellen rumors from like people that used to work on her show. Like it was known that Ellen was not a very nice person. But then lately we've had the dog rescue scandal, the Wayfair scandal where her furniture was like being sold and it was remember they were like names of kid like it was all like super crazy conspiracy. But then it's like now you look back at so much stuff and you're like, were these really crazy conspiracy theories?
I know it's really hard because you want to toe the line. You want to be
Yeah,
careful not to like fall into that side of TikTok
yeah.
where you're like believing that, this is actually not a cup and this is a human being. Like
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
believe anything. But
yeah.
the truth is that there's so many deaths in Hollywood. There are so many young, healthy deaths in Hollywood. People are bringing up in the comments the Anne Heche death. That's Ellen DeGeneres'
Oh,
first wife.
yeah,
That was weird. She
yeah.
was a little unhinged, like, I'm not gonna lie, and she was on Dancing with the Stars, and I got some backstories on that too. But, there was, like, this crazy car accident death that happened to her last year. I do believe there's I don't know what. Now, I did say this in a DM last night to my friend, and Allison, who is Twitch's wife, that's her his widow, Allison Holker.
Yeah.
I really like her, and I've always really liked her, and then I started realizing are you guys ready? I swear you're gonna think that I'm really cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She is not only following, but very supportive of those girls that girl that's in that dance cult. Do you remember that big dance cult that
Oh,
came
yeah,
out?
yeah, the what was it called? It was the one where the family went on the and they're like, "Oh, we lost her to this dance cult."
Yeah, and the dance, I can't remember the name of the company, whatever, but the guy, he was an Asian like pastor that became their manager, and it was a cult, and the family was saying, like, we lost her. I went to her page at that time and I was like, why is Allison Holker all up in this girl's page? Like, I love you, keep going. And I'm like, something is shady. Something is shady.
Yeah, it is hard because there are so many crazy, like, deep TikTok, Reddit
And Seven,
conspiracy
yeah.
theories, like, there's so much of it, but it just I think now, this Diddy stuff like lets you know that sometimes these things I mean, I'm sure a lot of them are fake, and I'm sure a lot of them are just wild conspiracy theories of people that have too much time on their
Of
hands.
course
It
they
also
are.
but it also, like, reveals that there is a dark side that people have not wanted to see, that has been
Totally.
right in front of our faces. That's unfortunate.
Well, totally. And I do want to say nothing I'm saying here is confirmed.
Yeah,
Everything I'm saying here is for the fun of just entertainment
yeah,
and to chat about because I think it is important in life that we don't believe everything we see or hear.
yeah,
And I think it really is important that, this is showing us that, we were cheering on and paying money to people that were actually horrible people behind the scenes.
yeah,
And so Hollywood in general, like my friend who's a producer and she's lived here her whole life was like, it makes me not even want to live in LA anymore. Like you start to question everyone you've done business with, now that all these CEOs are stepping down from different companies. It's like
yeah,
in reality, we don't know people. We just know like what portrayal they want us to see. And I
yeah,
think it's kind of interesting to look and you can do this with housewives too. Like
yeah,
not to say housewives are horrible people. I'm just saying, we only see what we want to see.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. There's a Michelle woman in the live chat that's getting mad at us, saying, "This is all nonsense. It's misinformation, misinformation, misinformation." Guys, we're not saying that any of this is fact. We're just
No.
playing around with the ideas of conspiracy theories. We're not saying to believe any of this or to take it all as the word. What? Not even the word of. I was going to say the gospel, but I know people don't believe in the gospel either. It's not math. 2 + 2 does not equal 4 here. We're just
And the truth is, at the end of the day, the truth should come out and hopefully
yeah,
it will come out and there will be a jury and he will be, on trial. Although you pulled up a comment earlier that Femtero said that
yeah,
she doesn't even believe he'll make it to trial, meaning he will unalive himself.
yeah.
I mean, Gene Deal, his bodyguard, has straight up said this guy cannot live in jail. Like it can't happen. With his um not with his incredible and big I should say lifestyle. Like
Yeah,
Diddy was so over the top and just he had so much indulging in his
yeah,
life that how is he going to now live in jail?
yeah, yeah, I agree.
I know.
And I
And then
don't
yeah, Cassie is what we did see. We saw
yes,
video proof that
yeah,
this man beat the living shit out of his girlfriend. Now you can't deny that. And if you see
no,
that, you have to wonder.
yeah. It's just it's crazy. I mean, do you think any of the info will actually come out? Like, with Epstein, a lot of it stayed buried.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it just comes down to like how much the feds. Emily D. Baker is a great person to follow, by the way. If you are following her, she is very, very in on the justice system. She understands like the legalities of everything. She doesn't go through conspiracies. She's
Yeah,
much more like the facts. I know she was on a big podcast, Nick Viles, yesterday, and she went through it there. But like, if you are part of her YouTube channel, she goes live all day long. I mean, if you have that time to watch, but she will really break it down for you. I just don't know how, after all of this and so many people tuned in, how it doesn't come out. Like more will come out. Yeah, of course it will.
well, I think Epstein was the first one. Now we have Diddy. Like, whatever information they tried to conceal with Epstein, like, it's all starting to slowly leak out. Like, they can't keep any of it contained anymore.
Yeah. I think bad people get found out. Like they say the cream rises to the top, right? And I guess the dirty water the mud goes to the bottom. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
We will find out. Donna, thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for chatting with us. Daily Dose of Donna is your podcast, and it's Monday through Friday, right?
It's Monday through Friday. I go live here on YouTube. And also, by the way, I am not a conspiracy theorist by nature. I just like sometimes going through this because I don't want people to feel like this
Yeah,
is actually, I don't feel that I can fall into every conspiracy, but this one
right.
is just shocking to me.
It is. And listen, it's all, I mean, when you go on those deep dive rabbit holes, I mean, as long as you keep your mind sane and you don't like just believe every little rumor you hear online, um, sometimes it's fun to go down the rabbit holes, but we're gonna see what's gonna come out because I feel like it's a lot more. The blue light is coming out.
Yes, and honestly, I will say the only person that is so happy for all this Diddy stuff is Dave Grohl because he he was on all of our minds last week
I
and no one
mean,
people are like, "Dave who?" This week?
They've completely forgot about him and his love child.
Was it Diddy's fault? Was his love child involved with Diddy?
Maybe. Nobody knows.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Zack.
Thank you, Donna. Guys, go subscribe and leave a review and leave a comment and hit the like button and do all the things for Daily Dose of Donna. It's Donna's podcast, available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Donna is spelled D-A-N-A, not like Donna Martin, but Donna, D-A-N-A. Donna, I love you. I love chatting with you. Everyone loves us together, so we can do this more often.
We are a good duo.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow me at Just Plain Zack all over the internet. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack on Instagram. And be sure to check out the Pop Report. Mary Bonet from Selling Sunset is on the Pop Report today. So head on over there. Check out our interview. Show the YouTube some love and some engagement. Leave a review if you're enjoying the podcast or not. I see all your mean reviews too, and I love them. The engagement keeps us strong. So gotta love it. Thank you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will talk to you later. Yes, Sydney, we will have members only later this afternoon. So stay tuned.
Ooh, I love your members only.
It always gets juicy. All right, guys. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.